In the 1880s, a preteen kid walking along the railroad tracks in Oahu saw something on the ground that would change the sound of the world. His name was Joseph K. Kuku. He found a steel bolt on the ground that he picked up and he slid across the strings of his guitar. He polished up a piece of steel at the Kamehameha School machine shop, and he also polished up his style of playing, which virtually everybody wanted to replicate once they had heard it. This is a legendary anecdote in the history of Hawaiian music, but in his book, Kika Kila, How the Hawaiian Steel Guitar Changed the Sound of Modern Music, John W. Troutman shows how this musical style landed and cross-pollinated musical cultures around the world, including the United States. A few things accelerate this process. One thing that happens is political instability in Hawaii after the overthrow of Queen Liliuokalani in 1893. Perceiving their traditional culture to be under attack, several Native Hawaiians grabbed their instruments and traveled the world. Record companies had a tendency to try to fracture their market into white and black listeners. Hawaiian steel guitarists had an influence on both of those cultures. In the case of white hillbilly records, for example, Jimmie Rodgers, the godfather of country music, featured Hawaiian session guitarists on several of his biggest hits. In the case of black music, one of the most famous practitioners of slide guitar, Son House, directly attributed Hawaiian guitarists to teaching him how to play the way he played. After reading Troutman's work, it's hard for me to imagine rock and roll anymore without thinking of the influence of Hawaiian steel guitar. We can trace it all back to one person, Joseph K. Kuku, that kid in Oahu back in the 1880s.